but okay. We shall go to Hong Kong. Let's go. Let's go higher. It's fine. Let's hire. Let's go. Got under 9k, but 9k is a lot. It's a lot. I think we started off with 2 or 3k, so it's all good. We can profit. Once again, we boarded a mechanical plannikin. Alright, let's converse. Let's find Bruce. What is your wish, master? Is there something the matter? Agra. Did you learn anything in the paper that might help in Agra? I've heard that Agra walks from place to place. Is that not remarkable? Oh, Calcutta. What do you know about Calcutta? Calcutta is famed for its art, literature and theatre. Hong Kong. Have you learned anything in the Times about Hong Kong? You might be interested. The fastest way to Hong Kong from here is to go via Chittagong. Okay. Oh, Calcutta. Okay. Of course, freaking Calcutta is in. Okay, of course. So stupid. I actually knew this where Calcutta was. So we go here, and then we go here. Canton, Hong Kong. And then after Hong Kong, we'll decide where we want to go. Okay. I was weary of being on the road so long despite the remarkable cities and sights we have seen since departing Kabul. Yet when Agra came into view and tossed aside any remembrance of my journey upon the ancient Grand Trunk Road, at first I only saw the white marble magnificence of the Taj Mahal. The towers nearly touching the clouds. Oh wait, I thought we read this already. Oh, I heard rumors of course. But the truth of the vast walking city perched high atop in the pillar lights mechanicals left me with only one question. How are we going to climb up? What? We've done this already? Okay. How are we going to climb up? Yeah, we've read this already. I'm going to read that game. That's a bit of a... Okay. Looks like we can complete engineering set. Okay. Let's do that then. False passport. Engineer. Loaded dice. I don't know what this left floor thing, but might as well fill up the whole thing. I don't think anything can sell for bargain here. If I see any, like, a lot of money that stands out, then... No, Calcutta. No. Yeah, nothing's... I can't say anything for a lot of money. Let's explore. We need to find ways to get to Calcutta. And, speaking of the devil, we found a way. The perambulatory city of Agra was itself a wonder. The Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan had wished to build a monument to his great love, Mumtaz, and instead of a mere building had commissioned a roving city. The vast white granite magnificence of the Taj Mahal perched on the plateau atop its jointed fortified legs. There were thick gorges in the ground. To the west and east, Agra's habitual orbit was hewn into the earth itself. Her sovereignty was a contested matter. The British had laid claims to her, but she passed through independent territories on her peregrinations. Her power source was an enduring mystery, one which still befuddled the various European engineers who had made their life's work. As for me, I was just glad she worked. Her safety record was unimpeachable, if one did not count the occasional sleeping farmer crushed beneath her granite-clad foot. We boarded Agra at noon. She would begin walking to Calcutta when the sun set, taking us with her in an unvarying circuit. Let's go to Calcutta. 7 suitcases you're allowed to... Holy heck. Oh my gosh, look at that method of transport. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. One of the Scarlet Cloak City official rings a brass bell, answering tolls echoed from all corners of the city of Agra. While the sound still echoed in my ears, the city lurched underneath me, tilting first to the left, then abruptly to the right. We were off. The walking city had begun its circuit. She settled down into a regular rhythm after a few tottering steps, and by evening I barely noticed a slight tilt and yaw, developing a kind of sea legs. Let's make sure his health is up. Your attention I most appreciated. Truth be told, the sound was more difficult to accustom myself to than Agra's multi-jointed gait. Her granite-clad feet pounded into the earth with enormous shuddering crashes that could be heard even from our rare field station. I looked over the edge at the verdant fields and forest below, interrupted by little thatched villages and larger brick building town which wreathed themselves in black smoke. The Grand Trunk Road snaked ahead of us towards the horizon. I felt like a giant. The earth seemed to unroll itself for my inspection. Farmers and horses and cows below seemed pale and unreal and altogether insignificant. In that moment, only I was solid, only I was real. Thankfully, the moment passed quickly. But I did not soon return to this railing. A man thought strange thoughts perched atop a migrating city with an engine for a heart. Oh, this looks like a long journey. Let's converse. Let's find new routes. We want to get to Canton or the Chittagong, whatever the area is called. Greetings, Madame la Navigator. I'm one of the Saviour's 7 great navigators, Calcutta. I'm told Calcutta is famed for its art, literature, and theatre. The city is the centre of British opium trade in India. Chittagong, that's it. We want to know about Chittagong. Is it possible to travel from Chittagong, Calcutta to Chittagong? Yes. Calcutta is connected by Chittagong by boat. Okay, that's good to know. Chittagong to Hong Kong. Apparently Chittagong is connected to Hong Kong, is that correct? You mentioned steamships. I've been told there's a regular service from Honolulu to San Francisco, but the fare is very high. Hong Kong to Canton, that's where I want to go to as well. Is there a route from Hong Kong to Canton? Talk a lot, don't you? Okay. Let's talk about playing cards. Wild card, Madame Lanaka, New Deal. What a marvelous idea. Okay, let's find out about Hong Kong. Tell me more about Hong Kong. Sounds unhealthy. Okay, Hong Kong, where do you want to go to? Let's go to Honolulu then. I went to Singapore already. Is it possible to travel from Hong Kong to Honolulu? Surely not. Okay. We've been to Manila, Singapore already, so let's go somewhere else. Rangoon. Is it possible to route to Hong Kong to Rangoon? Talk a lot, don't you? Okay, let's talk about tea then. Perhaps a cup of Earl Grey, Madame the Navigator. Don't mind if I do. Let's find out about Chittagong. Do tell me more about Chittagong. I'll find my positive takes me elsewhere. Okay, Colombo, because in Colombo you can sell stuff. Yeah, is it possible to go from Chittagong to Colombo? I don't know, but listen, I hear Colombo has a very advanced tram system. You don't know much, do you? Bombay is also in India, so I don't want to go there. I don't know where Voltaire is or Jeddah. Let's talk about Voltaire. Enough talking. Okay, fine. At least you found routes to Chittagong. No, we don't want to go Chittagong to... We want to know Chittagong to Hong Kong. Honolulu to... Was it San Francisco? So we'll be skipping Australia. Okay. My master and I took a turn about the top deck, marveling at the glistening white marble edifice of the Taj Mahal, bounded by clear blue water and manicured gardens. A photographer had set up a booth on the lawn and were doing a brisk trade, taking phototypes of families posing in front of the magnificent monument. His hands were stained with chemicals, with dark burn visible against his brown skin. He was experienced at his trade. He glanced over at me appraisingly. Photograph? He asked in a passable French. £10. Mais oui. But yes. Yes, let's take it out here. Mais oui, I agreed, and then glanced at Monsieur Fogg, and I invited him to join me in the picture. He glanced at the photographic apparatus with evident suspicions, and then at my hopeful expression. Very well, he said shortly. I stared at him, mouth agape, for a full 20 seconds. I had not imagined that he would agree. We posed beside each other as the photographer made his equipment ready. I could barely keep the grin from my face. There was a blinding flash of light, and by the time my vision had returned to normal, the phototype had already been pressed into my hands. A handsome article in some light. I could almost see the barest hint of a smile upon my master's lips. I tucked my phototype into my pocket, and we continued about our promenade. Your funds have gone down a little. Your cactus is now zestful. I don't care. It's worth... Oh no, it's going to go down. Let's tend to him. Let's make sure he's above 80. Oh, we're close to Calcutta now. I was taking a small digestive walk after a substantial breakfast when I saw a young lady in a bright pink sari and yellow lens goggles pitched herself over the outer railings. I leapt across the deck and immediately entangled myself in some coils of rope which toppled me into the railings in a slightly less heroic fashion than intended. I peered over the edge, bracing myself for the traumatic sight, but then the woman waved up at me cheerfully, suspended from the railings by a length of thick-hemmed rope knotted around her waist. I waved back. Why not? Though my fixed expression could hardly have been described as nonchalant, even by the kindest critic. The woman sought me out at luncheon, by which time I was much recovered, and she introduced herself as Daya. Mademoiselle Daya, I bowed. A pleasure to meet your acquaintance. She laughed in surprise. Your manners are very fancy. I invited her to sit with me. Come, sit with me. As was only polite, but she shook her head. Feels bad, man. I don't eat up here, she pronounced derisively, before glancing at me with bright mischief. We are a city of many levels. A real Agra is below decks. I'll take you down tomorrow if you want to do more than sightseeing. Ooh la la! Mademoiselle Daya, you naughty girl! She swept away into the crowd, leaving me to contemplate her challenge over my meal. How could I leave Monsieur Fogg, though? Of course. Let's go! We're leaving Fogg like we did in Russia with the inspectors. Our relationship's gonna go down, but whatever. I went below decks. I am a man who cannot resist a challenge. Daya told me of some of the history and layer as we descended a series of stairs of increasing ricketiness. I followed until we reached a stop. My guide raised her hand. There was no one about, and I was beset by the sudden thought that she had brought me to this empty spot to rob me. Then she opened a pair of carved doors with grave ceremony. Welcome to the lower city. I blinked with my eyes against the light, and as they adjusted, I saw where we were. We had come to a township built within the echoing bowels of the city, complete with shops and residences, and even children playing games on the streets, though these children tossed adjustable Spanish and brass rings. A child threw a ring at my feet and shyly approached as I reached out to hand it back. The ring I saw was an old and engraved with measurements. A kneecap, Daya said. We go through 5 or 6 every decade. Daya was clearly a well-known figure and introduced me to her fellow lower city folk with great pride. Almost everyone wore tool belts and yellow lens goggles. So, she asked, turning on the spot with hands outstretched, what do you think of my home, Frenchman? It is fantastic, a hidden world. I declared. I would not have dreamed such a place existed beneath the parks of an upper deck. Daya nodded at my response as if I had turned it over in her mind. The truth is, I think that all the cities have a below decks, my friend, she said. Agra is just more obvious or less dependent. There was something hinted at her tone, I thought. She smiled weakly. Don't worry, Passepartout, she murmured. I'm not going to eat you. Madam, But before I could finish my thoughts, the bell rang out for our stop. The room around me exploded into controlled chaos. Steam exploded from valves. Brass-goggled men and women pulled numerous levers, threw open iron gates, and shouted instructions at each other in a storm of languages. The city lurched to a halt, and the great heart styled we had arrived at its destination, the British city of Calcutta. I never saw Daya again. Your character's now courageous. We are courageous, guys, but we won't see Daya again. Feels bad, man. Good gracious, this is rather more exhausting than anticipated. I know. Okay, Calcutta. What was it that will sell for a fortune? Yo. Wasn't it the... My memory is so bad, guys. Was it... No, was it... That's Hong Kong, I think. What was it that will sell for a fortune in Calcutta? Yo! I got a ferret. Oh yeah, okay. What was it that will sell for high for in Calcutta? Was it this? Yeah. Oh, okay, I've got 12k now. Geometry. We've passed Rangoon, Beijing. We're not going to go to China. Traveling Coke. This is something that we would want. Leather gloves. Open road. That seems something good. Rum. Man. I really don't want to open up a new one, but let's go for it. Let's take that as well then. Okay. It appears we have made some excellent sales. Thank you. That is some long trip to San Francisco. Not sure if I want to go to North Korea. Oh, that place. Yeah, that's Russia. Yeah, we've got. Ah, interesting. Let's plan. We want to go to Chittagong, alright? Let's go to Chittagong for £9. Let's go. Oh, it departs tomorrow. Don't we need to buy a ticket, or is it we got the ticket already? Okay, whatever. Let's. Yeah, we can't plan, right? So let's explore. Let's double check. Oh, Rangoon is here. We can go to Chittagong, Rangoon, to Hong Kong, maybe. Okay, let's explore. Calcutta was an industrial city which had built its wealth on opium, textiles and indigo, but that was not to say it was uncultured. The chai shop which I have passed by were all thronged with affluent barbers and Bahamians, discussing poetry and literature and the sticky subject of Indian independence. It seemed there was discontent brewing in several places, and I wondered if we would be able to avoid all consequences of it. Do you think there will be trouble soon? I asked. Several voices agreed, but then several disagreed. It seemed there was no clear answer to be had here either. Only time would tell. I returned quickly to Monsieur Fogg. Okay, let's stay the night. Okay, I noticed that we've been over 40 minutes, but I'm going to split this into two, so 2 sets of 20 something minutes, I guess. We have made ourselves comfortable for the night, and let's tend to him. We've got money. We need to make sure that he's pleasured. Capapai. Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. I'm roaring here, but we must take haste. Let's depart, yeah. So I probably will call it when we're in Chittagong. High express. Okay, -5 for confidence is okay. We're on the Titanic. I'm joking. We're on a boat. We boarded the SS Thunder of the Apcar shipping line on its way to Hong Kong via Singapore, but the smokestacks barely had time to steam off their morning dew before we were approaching Chittagong to pick up more labourers. We made a full stop. We disembarked, I guess, and made our way into town. Because, we had to go to Chittagong to sell. Let's sell. Oh my gosh. What was. Now, the problem with having loads of stuff is that you can't remember. I should write it down. Okay, that's in Hong Kong. What was it that was set would fetch a high price in Chittagong? Yo. I thought, wasn't there something that was fetch a high price for in Chittagong, or was it more of methods of transport, how to get to Hong Kong and Canton? I thought we got stuff that could sell well in Canton. Okay. Oh well. Dates and figs, we got that last time. Heavy storm set, more tea. Biscuits or dates. Let's go for biscuits. I guess the Americans will call it cookies. Heavy storm set. That seems like something that would be nice if on the sea as well. But I don't know what we can sell for it. Traveling Coke gentleman. Urban. It's complete as well. Okay, let's leave it there. We shall stay for the night. Chittagong had been under British control for over 100 years, but still I felt the hostility of the Bengalis as they fetched our bags, served us teas and smile. Monsieur Fogg ignored their ill temper magnanimously, a tactic that was almost universally adopted among the colonial administrators, traders and officers of the city. It was an odd sensation to be hated so impersonally, and so I took pains to be courteous to the natives of the city, but it had little effect on the tamped down rage nestled in the corners of their mouths. More prosaically, we had been instructed to visit the visa office. So I had a mechanical plankin like the one we had taken along with the Grand Trunk Road, and I was quite happily enjoying the tour when a thundering explosion rocked the city to the west. The street flooded with soldiers and citizens rolling in an uneasy mass. I ordered the driver to turn around, judging it to be safer to return to my lodgings and forego my bureaucratic mission. My driver complied gratefully, through his eyes were fixed on a spiral of smoke rising above the police armory, which seemed to be the centre of the disturbance, but about which I wished to see as little as I could. I ordered the carriage driver to move faster, expecting the situation to escalate, and it did. There was another explosion from the direction of the train station. It seemed the revolutionaries had effectively cut off Chittagong. We were trapped, and the city would, I feared, soon be ablaze. Relations with Fogg strangely slightly. Your character's now in Vessel. And on that bombshell, guys, I think I'm gonna call it. This is gonna be a two-parter, so I'm gonna split it into two. So I hope you enjoyed our adventure. The plan is to head towards Canton in China or Hong Kong, and then from there we'll see where we go. Probably go towards Honolulu, whether we're gonna make a detour towards Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia area. Who knows? But we'll probably take the Honolulu route. Last time I went New Zealand and Australia, I believe. So let's take a different route this time. But wherever you guys are, take care, be well, and be safe. Bye.